So one of the new features inside Premiere Pro 2024 is the new audio interface. You'll notice that the timeline now looks completely different, and in this video I'm going to be showing the new controls and how to use these inside Premiere Pro. Let's dive in.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
So I have Premiere Pro open, and as you can see, I'm in version 2024, version 24.4, and as we look at our audio clips, you can see that they're different colors and that they have different controls on them. So let's first go over what's different inside the latest version. You'll first notice that each audio clip has a little fade button that you can click and drag to fade in between clips. So if you click and drag this out, you can see that we're adding a fade in between this clip and this clip. This also works for the end of the clip as well. You can fade in or out audio clips by just clicking and dragging this little icon from the side. So this is a really nice new feature. I really like this. The other part of this too is, say if you click and drag up and down, you can change the way that the audio fades in and out. So it kind of eases out or eases in more from that keyframe, which you couldn't do in the previous versions. You would have to manually add keyframes like here, right click and go to easy ease out. And this is a little bit more difficult to work with. So that's definitely an improvement. Now, if we take a look at some of the other buttons on our audio clips, you'll notice that there's a music icon and then this effects icon. So this button here indicates what type of clip it is, and Premiere Pro automatically now tags what type of clip it is. So as you can see, this is a music clip, and when we click on it, you'll notice that the Essential Sound panel opens. So this is very handy if you want to add effects right away. You can click on that button and the most relevant tools will pop up for that audio clip. You can see I'm clicking on the dialogue pieces, and you can see EQ, loudness, repair, clarity pops up, where when we click on music, you have the ducking, the duration tools pop up as well. Now this also works for video clips that I did want to mention in this video. So say if you wanted to bring up effects controls on this video clip here, you can click this effects button, and this will automatically open the effects controls panel, which is really nice. You don't have to go up to window effects controls. You don't have to, go to this arrow and try to find it where the effects controls panel is. You can just click on the effects button and this automatically opens up for you. Now in the past, the effects box inside the video clip used to indicate what effects are applied to it. And there's still a way that you can see what effects are applied. You just need to hover over the effects box. So for example here, if we hover over the effects clip box, you can see that a motion parameter has been changed. You'll see that it's labeled motion. If we click on it, you can see that this is scaled down. If we reset the motion parameters, you can see that it's off. So no effects are applied or modified. That's how you can see the difference, is when it's grayed out like that, you know that it's no effects have been applied. When it's solid, you know that an effect has been modified on the clip. And when there's an underline like this, you know that something is added to the source clip. So you can see there's a little underline under the effects button here. This indicates that something inside effects controls under the source tab has been added. In this case, I added a color grading effect to the source clip of this video clip, where before it used to indicate it by having a red underline. Now it's just all one color, and it's either grayed out, opaque, or it has an underline to distinguish what is applied to it. And when you hover over it, it'll tell you what effects are applied to the video clip or audio clip here. Even for audio, if you hover over the audio effects button, you can see that there's an audio gain effect applied, or that the original gain of the audio clip was adjusted. Now, one thing I'm not really happy about is, say if you're working in the timeline with a bunch of clips, the new UI is a little tricky to move clips around. For example here, if I zoom out on my timeline, you'll notice that the effects button kind of hides my ability to click and drag clips from this video track here and try to move them around. So it's a little tricky to work with. You can see I'm having a hard time trying to click and drag this clip to the right, but that's one of the downsides. And I know a lot of people have been talking about the label colors. They're interesting, they're unique. I feel like everyone has a different opinion on how they look. I personally don't mind them, but say if you want to revert back to the other label colors, you can go into your preferences. So say if you want to revert back to the original label colors, you can always go up to Premiere Pro Settings, Labels. And then under the drop down, you can see that they're all changed here. But under the drop down, you can change it from default to classic, and then click OK, and then they're back to the way they used to be in previous versions of Premiere Pro. Now granted, the video clips look okay, but the audio tracks, they don't look the same because they're kind of inverted, where the audio waveform is darker and the clip itself is lighter. So it's just the way that the UI looks now. It's not going to look the same either way here in the new version of Premiere Pro. But this kind of looks a little too freaky for me, so I'm going to go back to the other way of doing it. But let me know down in the comments section your thoughts on the label coloring. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions. Wow, that looks pretty interesting there. I kind of like the default. It's subtle. It's not as in your face, but I know everyone has different preferences when it comes to the label colors. You can even make your own. That's one thing I never really talked about inside Premiere Pro. You can make your own. You can change the colors actually and make your own. But once again, the UI itself is different. So no matter, even if you change it back to the original, it's just gonna look different regardless inside the new version of Premiere Pro. Now, one of the other new features inside Premiere Pro 2024 is the new enhanced speech. If you wanna see me testing that out, I did make a video a few months ago going over it. I'll link that video right up there. But that's it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new audio interface here inside Premiere Pro. That does it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.